Notice how a single afternoon felt like an entire lifetime when you were a kid, but now whole weeks pass by in a flash. That shifting perception of time is at the center of Emily Dickinson's work. A prolific and secretive 19th century American poet, she lived most of her life in relative isolation. Her world was shaped by a strict Puritan upbringing, and while she wrote hundreds of poems, she was not publicly recognized during her lifetime. Her genius only reached the wider world through poems published after her death. In Unit 2 of your Grade 12 English textbook, Dickinson's poem A Day uses the physical transition of a single sunrise and sunset to map the journey from childhood innocence to adult experience. The opening stanzas are filled with clear, vibrant descriptions. Through this morning imagery, Dickinson portrays childhood as a time when the world feels fully visible and easily understood. She begins with a specific visual. I'll tell you how the sun rose, a ribbon at a time. It is an image of light spreading across the sky in distinct, bright, and colorful stripes. Before we analyze the next few lines, we need to check the glossary in your textbook for a few key historical terms. A steeple is the tall tower on top of a church, and amethyst is a bright purple jewel. In Nepali, her line, "The steeples swam in amethyst," translates to Girja Kharka Gajurharu Baichani Rangma Baudi Raheka Thiye. The morning light washes over the village in a flood of color. Dickinson then writes, "The hills untied their bonnets." By personifying the hills as a friendly character taking off a hat to welcome the new day, she creates an atmosphere that feels warm and welcoming. She follows this with a simile. The news like squirrels ran. A squirrel's movement is darting and hyperactive, a precise match for the fast-paced, high-energy discovery of being a child. In this first half of the poem, the speaker is a confident observer. The world is vibrant, its movements are loud, and everything happening is entirely visible. The poem pivots as the sun begins to set. The playful tone disappears, replaced by a sense of mystery. The speaker's confidence vanishes in the line, "But how he set, I know not." In Nepali, she's acknowledging, "Barakham Gosari Ostayo, Malaitha China." The end of the day, and by extension, the end of life, is a mystery she cannot solve. To describe this transition, she introduces a dominie in gray, which your text defines as a strict clergyman or schoolmaster. This figure reflects Dickinson's conservative Puritan background. The dominie is a somber, authoritative force that brings the day to a firm conclusion. This figure puts up the evening bars, a metaphor signifying finality and closure. Unlike playful morning hills, this sunset is a gate locking shut. Finally, the dominie leads the flock away. The children are guided into the dark, representing the final loss of innocence and the transition into what lies beyond life. The evening represents the ultimate unknown. While childhood is loud and visible, the poem suggests that the end of life is quiet, structured, and impossible to fully describe. For your Class 12 board exams, keep these two core takeaways in mind. First, the morning represents the visible joy and absolute confidence of youth. Second, the evening represents the quiet, structured, and mysterious end of life. Dickinson uses this daily cycle because it is a universal experience. Everyone watches the sun rise and set, just as everyone must move from the clarity of childhood to the questions of adulthood. Good luck on your NEB English exams. Remember, analyzing poetry is simply the process of translating life's big experiences into words.